waiting for it to go live, but I'm pretty sure we are there. Let me send this tweet out. 14 of you guys waiting. I do appreciate it. I'm glad that you guys are here. The ad is rolling, so that's good as well. All right, let's do this. Let me just share this real quick. I'm probably going to talk about the Truck Series for probably the next 20-ish or so minutes. We can get all those questions in, despite the fact that the pool is very small. AD, happy to have you here again. Thank you guys for being here. Like I said, sorry for not being live last 2 weeks. Just been out of town, haven't been able to do live shows. But yeah, thank you for still being here, not unsubscribing. The Truck Series race is very disappointing because the pool is extremely small and everybody knows the plays. But not only do we know who the plays are, these drivers are going to kill themselves on this track. The Truck Series is horrible when it comes to Pocono. You can look back at COVID, right when we returned from COVID in June, when they ran this race with no practice session, with no practice, no qualifying or anything. Just like this week, we got a absolute banger of a wreck fest. We had a wreck in the first corner, and the average green flag run was about 3-4 laps, and I'm fully expecting that today. Now, does that mean we stack from the back? Yes and no. Yes, because the plays are already back there, but no, just because we project to be a wreck fest. We're not just choosing to. If I got to turn back, let me just put this on Twitter live right now. But yeah, this is yeah, sorry, I hate typing and talking at the same time. Let me just finish this real quick. NASCAR, and then we'll go ahead and link this bad boy. I'll let people see that as they hop in here. All right, so live right now, talking NASCAR DFS for the trucking Xfinity races at Pocono. All right, got that. Let me put this in Discord because I always forget my Discord guys as well. And again, this allows people to hop in, or this time allows people to hop in and everything. Let me bring up the Truck Series sheet real fast so I can explain where I'm coming from. Most of the contests are filled, so if you didn't already have lineups reserved or whatever, you're probably not going to have a good contest selection, or maybe it might be even slightly better. I haven't seen what the new $10 pays out, since normally those do pay out better than the original ones. But when we're looking at the Truck Series race, due to the fact that we used metric qualifying, and I'll get to the max play in a second. The fact that we can approach this race in two different ways, and I have several lines. Half of my lines are going one way, half of my lines are going the other way, and that way is Zane Smith. So I have half my lines with Zane Smith. I have the other half without Zane Smith, and the reason why is because, in my opinion, the only viable players, which I hate like giving picks out like this, but it's very much clear as day, and we're all in the same category for this. And so the only viable plays in this race, regardless or not, is if it's a wreck fest or not, because these guys work in the same situation. It's Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes, Nemechek is on the edge, Crafton is on the edge, Ankrum, Purdy, DeBenedetto on the edge, Corey Heim, Ryan Pearce, Lawless Allen is on the edge, Max is on the edge, Austin Hill, Jesse Little, Caden's on the edge, Todd Bodine, Tyler Hill's on the edge, and Tate Fogelman. Those are the playable drivers today. If you're trying to get different, and we're way deep in the weeds, you can think about going Tanner Gray, think about going Chase Purdy, think about going Tyler Ankrum. The issue comes from is, I believe, Ryan. Look, I'm Ryan or dying on Ryan Pearce. This is very much a race where I'm 100% on. I think I'm 100%. I'm 100% on two guys, and I have 90% of 4 or 90 plus. And those 4 guys are Ryan Preece, Austin Hill. Those 2 of those 4 guys are Ryan Preece, Austin Hill. Very, very hard situations to see where these 2 guys do not work out today. After that point, it's Corey Heim. You fit him in there. And at this point, that's why the whole Zane Smith argument is you can't afford all 4 of these guys, which thankfully, because then everybody would just play the optimal line. This would be the worst slate in history. You have to make a choice. Do you go Zane Smith? What 3 of these 4 do you go with? Zane Smith, Corey Heim, Preece, and Austin Hill. I think the more aggressive stance is to take Zane Smith, which is why I do have half of my lineups with him, because I think a lot of people chase the place differential here. I have Zane Smith for 65 points today. I do have him as the highest one, but everybody else is very close. And like I said, I hate, giving out this many projections for this many good guys or like this many like obvious plays, but I have to bring context into this. And so I have Zane Smith projected for 65 today. I have Preece projected for 60, Austin Hill projected for 58, Corey Heim for 52. I mean, this is the top of the totem pole, and the fact that you need 3 of these 4 guys in your line dictates that we have to go to people like Todd Bodine. You have to go to people like Tate Fogelman, and you have to find people to work those people in the lines, and that leads you to Jesse Little, that leads you to Tyler Hill, that even leads you to, if you're trying to get a bit different, like I said, getting different is going to be a key play today. And I don't think this is necessarily a race where I want to risk that because, like I said, Preece, Hill, even Little, Bodine, Fogelman, Hill, clearly these guys can wreck, but lineups with them are not going to be killed if one of these guys gets destroyed because everybody's going to have them. And these guys will work in a situation whether the race goes green or it's a wreck fest, which I'm leaning it to be in a wreck fest. So like I said, Lawless Allen is on the edge of that. Max is on the edge of that. And so, I mean, that's kind of the pool we're at today for the Truck Series. There's not a lot of ways to get different. Like if you're really, like, I know I'm open this saying, like, if you want to play Tanner Gray to get different, if you want to play Crafton, Ankrum, Purdy to get different, you have to build around those guys to get different. It's not like you can go with the Corey Heim, Preece, Austin Hill line and then chuck one of those guys in there and try and get different. It's not going to work because everybody's using the same build today. So very unfortunate situation that we're in for the Truck Series, just due to the fact that qualifying got rained out and we have such clear and obvious plays here with this race only having 60 laps. And a majority of those are going to be going to the top running driver, or at least the top 2 running drivers. And the fact that Zane Smith is probably going to win this race because he has the fastest car, and he's probably going to get a lot of the laps, let him fast laps. The reason why I have half of Zane Smith is a situation that he wrecks. I think that is the one stance that maybe, doesn't have the highest likelihood of going, but I like the build difference that it gets you there. Like if you don't play Zane Smith in a hope that he speeds on pit road, he doesn't even like need to wreck out, but he speeds on pit road. He short pits before the end of stage 2. And then he, for whatever reason, more people stay out because this is the last race before the playoffs. He gets kind of buried in traffic and he's not able to drive back up to first. That's why I have half Zane Smith and half not in Zane Smith. And I only have like 6 or 8 lines. But yeah, this race should be the pinnacle of the NASCAR Truck Series. We should absolutely see boneheaded moves. We should absolutely see trucks destroyed for no good reason. And that's just the situation we're in. As I said, yeah, I mean, X's situation to where, I mean, there's so many lot guys. It is absolutely, it is redonkulous, man. It's absolutely crazy. So right now, I think the 3 guys you should play: Ryan Preece, Austin Hill, Jesse Little. Balance your wait. You said Eckes. What is this? Hit the lock button on Eckes. What are we doing here? I thought that was Corey Heim. What are we doing with Eckes here? Eckes starting 5th. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I will not have any Eckes today, but that is just me. But like I said, if you're taking stances, I don't think this is a race to where if you're getting different, this is a race to get different on, because we're going to have guys get wrecked out. And if you're playing people like Eckes, you're playing people like Ankrum, you're banking that some of the chalk gets involved in wrecks. Good morning, Michael. Happy to have you here. No rules for Dom. Well, you need a safe word, but in terms of dominators here, I don't understand what you're asking here. This is not a 2 lap leader type of race. The optimal with these guys are not, and you got to throw out past optimals here. This is a situation where there's so much baked in place differential. This is, there's a difference between going into a week and looking at how optimal laps are built and then not having qualifying and seeing so many guys that have just baked in place differential that laps led are really null and void if they end up going to the race winner. And in that situation, the race winner is going to be head to head between being optimal or being pushed out by one of the 5 guys with place differential, and it's going to be an extremely tight race. If for whatever reason the lap leader gets wrecked, the main lap leader is out there, leads the first stage, leads a good portion of the second stage, and then gets wrecked in stage 3, then it's all going to be a place differential type of line. That's really the only situation we're in terms of fast laps available and laps. In terms of laps led points and fast lap points, we got 15 laps led points and 27 fast lap points, and a majority of those will go to the winner there. Yeah, and Bodine is narrative. Okay, so this is this situation where I think Bodine understands what he's getting into. And this is where I would play narrative streaks. Sure, you can be unlucky. You can have a situation to where it's a Richard Petty. You can have a situation to where it's a Darrell Wallace. But the majority of the time, your final start is you do not get involved in a wreck. And this is not me using this as a statistic data point. I'm just bringing up look, Tabadine is not going to race stupid in this race. There's no way this guy wants to wreck out his last race, and certainly in a race where he knows that these guys are going to be wrecking the shit out of each other. Todd Bodine, this is so, it's very, very unfortunate with how line's going to be duplicated here. There's no way they don't get duplicated. The only way to get different is to absolutely play some one-off play or something, and hope that some of these guys end up being wrecked and stuff. But Todd Bodine, Tate Fogelman, you not only are you forced in their price range, they're also the best projected guys in the price range. And so you're basically forced to get there. Otherwise, you're giving up a ton of upside in the 6 and 7K range. Fogelman, Purdy, and Bodine are the only usable guys there. If you're playing max, it's either because you can't get to one of those 3 guys or you want to try and get different. At that point, look, I don't trust Jackwood here. I don't trust Chris Wright here. I don't exactly want to lean on Timmy Hill here just because he's starting mid-pack today. We just don't have a lot of guys that we are able to use here. I didn't know what he was asking. I mean, I don't know. He could have been referring to that. But I do apologize for the splash zone. That was whatever was in front of you there. Whether it was your computer, your floor, whatever the case is. I do apologize for that, Dave. And I don't think it's a fade Zane. I'm doing that to try and get different. I think that would be the first place I would. But I think Zane Smith runs away with this race. There's so little things that are going to keep him out of this. The fact that he has the fastest car, the fact that he is not going to be challenged in terms of speed. Sure, maybe in the tunnel turn, but by out of 3 on the first lap, it should be all Zane Smith, and he shouldn't look away. The way that Zane Smith doesn't win this race is due to how the cautions fall in stage 3 and how good his tires are late in the race. I went over it in the video, but real quickly, the race last year, Nemechek wins the race because he pits during the stage whereas Kyle Busch and Sheldon Creed pit before the end of the stage, and the fact that we have a late race yellow, even though Kyle Busch had a gigantic lead on everybody, it bummed him back up, and Nemechek was able to pass Kyle Busch late in the race last year. That's the only situation I see Zane Smith not winning this race. And I think I'm being very conservative with Zane Smith at 65 points. That's giving him 37 laps led, 25 fast laps in the win. That's really about where I'm at, and I think he can easily lead more. When we're looking at guys who are going to play the stage games, because as I said, you run this track very similar to a road course, to where you're basically forced to short pit before the end of stage 3. What the heck is going on here? What is am I on the right channel? I have it muted. Do they have somebody? I can look it up, actually. I don't want you guys to waste your time with that. I could have swore the pre-race or something on FS1 started like 10 minutes ago. How much time do we got for the race? We are 35 minutes away from the Truck Series race. Ream to the rear. What is this? Truck race coming off on Fox. Ah, it's on Fox, not FS1. Okay. I'm a dum-dum. All right, let me go to Fox real quick. All right. Where was I? What was the tangent I was going on? Good morning, Big. Yeah, Kevin. That's why I was like, I don't want you guys to have to waste your time typing that. I'm a functional human being. I can find it on my own. I don't have to annoy Bob. I'm asking him what channel the thing is on. I guess I'm doing Net Geo. Not sure what this is referring to. I haven't watched it, but I'm afraid I will very much love Life in the Fast Lane. 56 of you guys here, I do appreciate it, and as we've kind of discussed, like, the player pool for the trucks is pretty shallow. I am very, very terrified that I'm going to end up really liking that show. That's why I just refuse to watch it right now, because like, I love $1 Million Listing New York. I love 90 Day Fiance. Whenever I have time to actually dive in and watch that garbage. What else do I watch a lot of stuff on Bravo. And so I'm like, all right, that Life in the Fast Lane is just gonna be another drug to me that I don't want to deal with watching. Yep, we're there. You're there. You're there. You're there. And it's not that I'm annoyed, but man, Mike, I mean, it's so small, man. It's so unfun today. So unfun. It's so unfun. Because let's start at Fogelman. Kaz Grala got projected for 29, not going to work. Haley Deegan projected for 28, not going to work. Colby Howard projected for 24, not going to work. So, and then once you get to Fogelman at $7,000, all the way to Williams at the bottom, Fogelman, Purdy, Bodine, Max, Lawless, Little. Those are the guys there. If you want to try and get different, depending on who you have in your lines and depending on what the thing shakes out, you can go different in two ways today. You can try and get off of Zane Smith, and or you can build a line that nobody will really end up leading to, and even in that case, you still might be owned. You might still be tied with people getting to those lines because they're trying to get different. But Caden's a low owned guy that you might want to try and get to. Reum's going to the back of the field right now, but he's a low owned guy that you might want to get to. And even Williams, and not a guy. And these aren't plays like, oh, they're going to work out or whatnot. These are plays that hopefully 15, 17 guys wreck out, and Williams can go from 29 to 26 when it's all said and done, something like that. Same thing with Reum. Like, these are such plays that you're playing it due to the salary constraints that you have, because you're trying to fit in as many of the big place differential plays as possible. As I said, I think Pearce is very much a guy that you need to play. The danger with Pearce is he's going to be starting 22nd. He's starting in the 11th row, outside lane, entering one. That's where the wreck is going to. He's not going to have a way to get through the wreck if it happens in turn one right off the bat. Because the people who should wreck in that corner are going to be people like Chase Purdy, Tanner Gray, Haley Deegan. He's going to be right in the middle of it. And so if you're choosing to do a lot of lines, Smith makes sense to start getting off of once you have your Smith line, your Zane Smith lines covered. Ryan Preece in the hope that he gets involved in a wreck early, and even Corey Heim to an extent. But I mean that's really it. And even then, you're going to end up on lines that people are already building. Thankfully, the contests are small today. I think that's really the only saving grace we have there. Yeah. And at that point, I don't think it's worth getting incredibly weird on, because the contest is only 5,000 people, and so uh, I don't think you need to get. I don't think it's worth just getting super crazy and stuff. For me, I have no Nemechek today, and I have 100% Priest, but that's just where my stance is. But we're here, so would you guys like to talk about Xfinity now? Because that one at least requires a little bit more consideration and stuff, and I think that'd be a better use of our time since everybody's in the same situation here. I went live. The reason I was late going live is because I was trying to figure out what happened to Yaley today. What the hell is this? And I doubt I will be able to find anything useful. Certainly doing the live show. I'll look through it. What is this? Yeah, I doubt I'm going to find anything on JJ Haley, at least during this live show. But outside of that, I have the projections done for the race today. I haven't given out all the fast laps, but it's another situation where it's a good thing. It's a good and bad thing about Pocono because, like I said, it's very hard to fake speed. And at this point, I need to actually probably put this in my optimizer to figure out where laps are going to go. But there's very little people that are going to probably be in the pool just due to the fact that we have a lot of guys projected in the 4X range and very few in the 5. Very quickly, I think you have to consider Star and probably Vargas and Crew, but I think Vargas is 6K. That's crazy. I guess let me start up top. Allgaier, I like Allgaier to win the race. I like him entering this week, qualified first. I have no reason to get off Allgaier. We can possibly, with how projections are looking, maybe do a double punt and get to Allgaier and a second lap leader. But I don't know if I want to go in that direction. Riley Herbst is looking like a good play based on the projections alone. Bailey Curry is probably the best point per dollar play. And Weatherman. Those are the guys right now that are just lighting up on here because, as I said, I think we get some good guys taken out in the Xfinity Series race as well. We nearly always do. Here we always end up having a big name, and when I say big name, like a top 10 driver get involved in a wreck here, and there's possibility we can end up having at least 2 or 3. Not these drivers specifically, but anybody, like Creed, Smith, Barry, Austin Hill, Gregson, Mayer, Herbst, Sieg, Hamrick, Castle. It would not shock me if we had 2 of these guys wreck out today. With that said, a lot of people are starting really around where they should finish. Like, I don't see any real place differential plays in this race whatsoever. Cole Custer has not had speed today. When I was looking through the laps, they just don't have it. Clearly, they can use strategy and stuff. And I have Custer for a top 10 today, but I don't see Custer being like a great place differential play. I don't see Jeb being a great place differential play starting 6th, or I'm starting 6th, starting 19th. I would have him finishing around 13th or 14th. Landon Castle's been a bit slow. Clearly, we can kind of project him to at least pass, 8 cars, but that's still not going to be incredibly great value. That's why Herbst, at least Herbst looked decent. I got Herbst with around an eighth place finish today. Like this, like Sam Mayer, we love the kid on intermediate tracks this year, but with how this race is going to go, like we really can't envision him finishing any better than 6th or 7th today. And actually, let me put this in optimizer while I am live, so I can look at this and maybe answer things in a better way. I probably need to. What the heck happened to my stream? Oh boy, I gotta get another stream. Okay, hold on. My stream crashed. Hold on. Not this stream, my Fox stream. All right. Let me see. Let me look at the comments here. What are we doing? Yeah, pretty much. For cash, dude, cash is gonna be so fucking brutal, man. Cash is going to be. Don't play cash today. Don't. TBH, 100%. Don't play cash today. I'm gonna tell you, everybody in cash, unless they are, sniffing paint, they are going to run. I'll tell you the cash line. Won't give like the final 2 drivers away, but every cash line is probably going to have Ryan Preece, Austin Hill, Corey Heim. And in cash, I really don't want to mess around with the difference that Zane Smith can have versus one of these 3 guys. So I would probably just end up playing those 3 guys because I only have to finish, top 40% of my contest. I'm not trying to take it down in cash. So everybody should play Preece, Hill, and Corey Heim. That's the situation you're probably in. You'll probably end up having everybody playing Jesse Little as well. So cash, it would just be incredibly frustrating today. So in that situation, I would do. That's what I would do for cash. Yeah, head to head, I like Bodine more. I know the exact line you're with, Michael, because you probably either have Tyler Hill or Jesse Little in that line, and you're left with getting to Fogelman or Bodine. I have that line with Fogelman and with Bodine. I think everybody's gonna have it. It's a pretty rough one today. We're gonna yeah, so it's pretty rough. Anyway, back to Xfinity. Or let me get this. Where's the truck race at? Xfinity. Get this truck link up, sorry. Just so I can pay attention with where we're at in terms of time and stuff. Okay, let me mute that. Let me run my projections real quick. What other questions you guys have in here? Have you guys had a good 2 weeks? I know it's been a while since I've been here to comment on your lives and stuff. But anybody have like a baby or like a promotion or like anything good in life? No negative stuff. We can't have no negative energy here. But anything good happening in your guys' life? Let me get this loaded here. What is this? Man, I got so many tabs open. Good Lord. So let me close that. Let me close that. Xfinity Pocono. How about that? How about the? Oh man, I'm such a fake baseball fan. I can't even. The Blues, the St. Louis Blues. I can't. The Toronto Blue Jays. I'm such a fake baseball fan. That's how much I don't care about baseball. I can't even remember. I don't even know. I can't even remember the damn team. Anyway, baseball last night. I was in a league race, but I was keeping up with it. That was incredible. That's about the only way I could ever watch baseball. And then In the Park Grand Slam was hilarious. That is like a classic. And I think the second baseman called him off. At least that's what I heard, but it still doesn't make sense because he's so far away from him. But it's like it was like watching Little League. You know, the center field, instead of waiting for the ball to come out, he just rushes the batter and then the ball flies over you. That was hilarious. Oh, that'll be good. That'll be fun for you. I am officially at the point. I don't care. Once the Super Bowl happens, I don't look at NFL. I don't waste time watching stuff. I like listening to Colin Howard. Won't listen to him during the off season. Won't deal with any sports shows. I don't want to deal, and certainly I don't really want to deal with the people who are in June being like, I'm doing a mock NFL draft to get prepared for the NFL season. I am not on that, but I right now, this is July 23rd. My interest in NFL has happened, and it is not for drafts. It is looking for at least have an interest to go ahead and look at the Hall of Fame game in preseason, because I do love NFL preseason, and I am going to try and do a lot more showdown contests this year. That was where I probably had my best stuff last year. I'm going to play a lot of showdown preseason stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm not going to be covering here because I would want to kill myself covering the NFL. I will talk about it in live shows like this, but I will not be making content for it. Let me get these projections here. What is Pearce's projections looking like? I think, yeah, Pearce is projecting stuff a little bit more than I am, but pretty decent, pretty similar. Let me run this thing right quick. Get these projections in. But yeah, in NFL, I am very much looking forward to it. I'm not probably not going to do any drafts this year. Probably one with my friends and stuff that I've done the last couple of years. But outside of that, I don't waste time playing best ball. I don't do any of that crap, and certainly I am not going to play a ton week one. That is in my opinion one of the worst things you can do is blow your load first week of the NFL season when everybody who's anybody has had weeks to prepare, weeks to do research, and then all the unknowns that we might not be able to project, or how people are going to be using the rotations and stuff for week one. Week one is just terrible. In my opinion, best time to play. Week one is awesome for like sites like Yahoo. Like Yahoo is most likely going to have huge overlay again, because they always do. And some of the overlay contests, those are the ones I play for week one. But week 2, week 3, week 4, that's where I really like to really get into it, start building a lot of lines, and certainly for the showdown stuff as well. I'm gonna play a shitload of showdown this year. How about the 17? Well, everybody's 17 there. I like DGR winning after their truck driver died. I think that has much more correlation than weird number coincidences, because the dead crew member Juju is 100% a real variable, and Pocono is the side of the one place it did not work, because last year Ryan Vargas plows into Justin Haley with his dead friend on the hood. So there's that. I like Jeff Burton, man. I think I like both of them. I love Michael Waltrip. I think Michael Waltrip is awesome. Michael Waltrip is awesome, man. What a life that man has had. I am jealous of the life Michael Waltrip has had. I would trade anything in the life to just live Michael Waltrip's life. What a god among men. Same thing with Burton. I like it. And Burton is way more palatable than Fox Sports. What is going on? That is a USA stream that I've had open. Oh my lord, man! I could just have Hulu Live TV, but I'm trying to cancel it. I'm dealing with a lot, not financially right now. But I've been out of town last 2 weeks. I'm trying to use Hulu Live if I'm not gonna be able to watch it. But I hate going through all these pornography ads on all my links that I gotta watch my damn streams on, man. What was I saying here? Yeah. Like, and even outside, like, yeah. Thank God we don't have salaries, because normally it might be this next week that DraftKings drops salaries for week 1, because we'd normally get it at the end of July. I would like it if they waited a bit. I would love it if week 1 was not up for a fucking month. I understand why. What is going on here? Well, I don't have a stream. That sucks, because this one ain't loading. So I'll have to go on Twitch and stuff after this stupid race and find a link. Yeah, week 1 is just don't waste your time playing week 1, man. It's like just don't. Every year I just see people just dive into week 1, man, and it's a disaster. It's always a disaster, especially September football is always like the only 4 times of the year that you're gonna have contrarian teams and quarterbacks and stacks be very viable, in a sense of, remember Fitzpatrick a couple years ago. I can't remember who it was last year. Mahomes blew up in September, which Mahomes is good anyway, but Mahomes blew up right out of the gate in September when nobody was really on him, when he first started, just so on and so forth. So we'll have to see. Yeah, dude, it's insane. What is this? I disagree. However, I am very much not up for arguing really anything towards NFL. I really don't like talking NFL DFS if it is not like in a not in a casual sense. But like I said, unless the game is like tomorrow, I really don't even waste time talking NFL stuff. We'll see how the Hall of Fame game goes. Like, let's talk about that. Let's actually talk about the Hall of Fame game and stuff. Like, that's always way more fun to me than even wasting time talking about week 1 right now in July. I got asked, I think it was last week. Maybe it was one of the weekends I was out of town. Somebody asked me on Twitter, not clearly tweet at me, but a DM asking if I would join them and cover NFL. I told them no. I would much rather eat my own foot than talk NFL for a season. I would be burned out. I would hate my life. That would be absolutely brutal. Oh, why is this not loading? Let's see. Come on, man. I just want to see where these. I never put the names in. Oh, Lord. I was like, why is my optimizer not loading? Man, today is just brutal in terms of lines. You got such a chalk wreck fest for the trucks, and then you got, like, nothing going on for Xfinity. How much time we got? We got 13 minutes until the Truck Series locks. See if there's any small contests out there. See if they put up any more. I doubt they do. Or I will find any. Yeah, nothing there. I think the second 10. What does the second 10 pay out? It pays out slightly better, but see, fucking 25 to first. Top 10 gets 58 points. That's a dog shit. Contest. Let's get this to load here. I just want to see what the construction looks like before I end this, so I can actually talk more. With everything said and considered, 5080 guys here. Thank you for still sticking around and watching me, despite the fact the algorithm will hate me for not being live for 2 weeks. Let's check and see. Right now, it's wanting to build both Gibbs and Allgaier in the lines together. I don't like that it's going to like Brett Moffitt. I don't agree with that. He's leaving a lot of salary left. I haven't seen a single. This one is 49.9, but I'm seeing a lot of low 49, some of the 48s. So we might be leaving. At least the optimal might be leaving salary on the table. What does Pearce have on his? He's probably already ran his optimizer. Let me see what it does here. Real quick. That's an aggressive. That's a very aggressive, progressive optimal line that Pearce has. All right, so takeaway, Xfinity. Allgaier is the lock. Allgaier is a play. If Allgaier goes down, we go down. That's the first indication right here. Past that, I said when I was doing the projections, and even now, Bailey Curry, play him, lock him in. Optimal is very very high likelihood that Justin Allgaier and Bailey Curry are optimal. Those are the two building points that we have identified. Those are the two building points that we can very easily see working out. I think that is the takeaway in a situation where it is this not obvious, but everything is loving Bailey Curry. I like Bailey Curry. Pearce's projections like Bailey Curry. I like Allgaier. Pearce's projections like Allgaier. The optimizer likes both those two guys together. So stepping stones that I would build with the intent and the vision that those two drivers are optimal and build from there. I have a lot of people projected for under 5x. I try to be really aggressive in my projections and not. And I think I'm even still giving people a lot of positions that they can possibly get from guys wrecking out. But that is where we're at. Yes, JJ Ely did not take a Q lap, and he did one lap in practice. And good luck finding that out. I was trying to figure that out before I went live. I do not like JJ Ely today. Man, the fucking 5K range sucks. Raja Caruth, you're playing him for upside. You're playing him to hopefully understand what he wants in that car in stage 3 once we've had a lot of yellows. Raja Caruth's green flag speed should probably be around 28th, 29th. That is not going to get it done. Raja Caruth is going to have cautions late in the race to advance his position, but that can be said for anybody in the back of the field. So if we think Raja Caruth might be a bit chalky, this situation where I think playing David Starr, who's a bit more expensive, might be a good. I'm going to play a lineup with Raja Caruth. I'm going to tell you that right now. However, speaking in the sense of trying to get different, I think Raja Caruth is going to be chalk. I would think Bailey Curry is going to be chalk, but he's going to be good chalk. I think people are going to want to play Jeb Burton because he's $7,000, $7,500 with some upside. And Castle, I don't think that is the way I want to go. I don't think I'm going to play Jeb. I don't think I'm going to play Castle. I'm not seeing them in the optimizer really anywhere. So that's showing to me that is worth not playing and wasting time building with them, with those two drivers. I do not like Brett Moffitt. This is a situation where, let me bring up, I need to hand build this as I'm talking through. My hypothesis is to stay away and stay off of the 7K range for the Xfinity series. But let's put some builds together real quick and just see how people are going to probably build together. Bailey Curry. Yeah, so it's going to want you to go to the 7K range. You're probably going to, once you end up building, you're probably going to have anywhere from $6,900 to $7,800 left for your final 3 guys. I would want to go differently. I think I would probably want to probably get to two of these, however many drivers I just talked, I say going forward. So Bailey Curry, Raja Caruth, Williams, Parsons, Starr, and Vargas. I'm not saying all those are in play. I'm saying right now, as I'm kind of looking at builds, I'd probably want to use two of those drivers here. Stay out of the 7K range because I think we're going to have a lot of chalk there based on how lines are going to end up playing out and based on how people are going to end up building lines. Take a risk on Sammy Smith. Take a risk on Riley Herbst. Possibly try and get up to Sam. Possibly try and get up to Barry. Because if we have a lot of people finishing and starting where they are with a delt outside of the Rex, that we need to consider that as well, or we need to keep that in mind. But outside of the net gain or net loss of around probably 3 positions for every driver, probably from 7th on back, I think it's worth getting up to guys starting in the top 15 and banking on them not losing those positions and getting to be optimal or getting to score well just due to the fact that they're going to be finishing higher than other people. With the lack of place differential plays that are very much that could work out today. Like, we don't see Jeremy Clements really gaining in the field. We don't see Jeb Burton gaining 10 positions. We don't see Landon Castle gaining 10 positions. We don't see Alfredo gaining like 8 positions. We don't see Brandon Brown. We don't see Sage Karam. We don't see Snyder. We don't see Raja Caruth, having baked in place differential. They're going to have to work for that. They're going to need Rex and a lot of restarts late in this race to happen. So I do like the idea of playing guys based on where they're starting and holding on to their running position for this race, especially with the huge discrepancy in terms of speed for the Xfinity Series. I think that's the approach that I want to use for the Xfinity Series today. And I do apologize that this live show is kind of like a combination of me working in the sheet live, but it just due to the fact that the on-track activity today and the schedule is very, very wonky. We have the Truck Series race starting fairly soon. Then we have practice for Cup at that point, and then the Xfinity Series race. So I didn't want to be live during the time that I have to pull the data for the Cup Series. But yeah, I think that's how I am going to build today. I'm going to try and stay out of the 7K range for Xfinity and build using people like, even like Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, Riley Herbst, even people like Ryan C or something. So now I understand why Pearce's optimal leaned in that direction, because that is also when to stay off of the 7K range. And so, yeah, that is where we're at. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll be live tomorrow for the Cup Series early in the morning. And actually with all the data in hand, so I don't have to be doing this live. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting me, supporting Pearce, and staying subscribed and watching all that. I will see you guys tomorrow, and best of luck in these 2 races. And God be with you and your lines for the Truck Series race that is going to start fairly soon. So I will see you guys tomorrow.